over my independent project for media technology. Um, Also, it's a how-to do video for animation in Adobe Animate. Some key points of animation or things that you have to really know for animation are anticipation, which is uh, when an object moves, you want to anticipate that motion. So when a person jumps, they don't just immediately start jumping in the air. They kind of squat down and then jump. And same for running, you typically lean back into the run um, instead of just running straight forward immediately. Then uh, frame types, which are very important. Keyframes are your point A to point B. You're pretty much ending results. Extremes are the the farthest from the center of where you're going to be. So the highest point and the lowest point of your animation. So here, the blues are your lowest and highest points from the straight position of point A to point B. Then breakdowns are the yellows, which are your connectors of the extremes. Uh, they're there to make the animation more smoother, and then same with in-betweens are the connectors of the uh, breakdowns to make it more smoother. Then slow in and slow out is when an object stops, it tends to stop slowly instead of just abruptly. And then when an object starts to move, it tends to start moving slowly and then progressively get faster and faster. And then when it slows down, it gets slower and slower until it stops. It doesn't just right as it starts moving, it's instantly fast. Or if it's about to stop, it doesn't just go boom, stop. It kind of slowly, it gets slower and slower and slower until it stops. Then stretch versus squash is when an object, so for example, a ball, a bouncy ball, if it's moving fast, it will kind of stretch out to emphasize that it's moving fast because the material kind of stretches out. And then for squash, if it bounces, it kind of squashes down and then bounces back up or springs back up. Then another example of not stretch versus squash is uh, if you have a rock, if it's speeding up, it doesn't have as much stretch as would the ball. Or same with squash, if a ball bounced or a rock bounced, well, it doesn't really bounce like a ball would. It would kind of just hit the ground and kind of fumble. Um, because of the material, like a rock is a rock, and a ball is just like rubber or something else. So it's solid instead of less solid, I guess. Um, Arcs are objects tend to move in arcs instead of straight lines. Like for a ball bouncing, it kind of bounces in an arc instead of just bouncing in a triangle, kind of. Then exaggeration is to emphasize emotion. So if you have a person that's sad, make them really sad. If you have a person that's happy, make them really happy. And same for other emotions. Or exaggeration can also be just in a character itself. Like if you want to signify that a person is strong, make their muscles really big. Or if you want to make them seem shy and scared, make them really small and kind of frail. Um, so those are key points in animation to make it more better and smoother. Over here is my technical part. I've already set it up kind of. Uh, so these two objects are symbols, and you want to have them on two different layers per object. And over here you can see that blue, or actually purple, is connected to blue, right? Wait. Yes. So purple is connected to blue, so blue is the parent of purple or pink. What that means is if I move or if I rotate this object will follow that. And since the white dot is pretty much the center point of an object. So if I rotate this, it will rotate around that white dot. And if I rotate this, it will rotate around this white dot. Okay, so to get these to be symbols, all you do is first, here's the rectangle object mode to create an object. Then all you do is double click or two click, and then for at least Mac, you two click. Then for PC, it would be right click. And then you come down here to convert to symbol, and you can put it in different folders, like you can make a new folder. I just put it in the library root, and then you can name it whatever you want. But for animation, you want it to be a graphic instead of a movie clip or a button. So you can press OK, but I won't because I'm just going to delete this. Then, so frames, typically for animation, you see 2 frames per 24 frames. So there would be 12 images in 24 frames, which I think 24 frames is 1 second. So I will add insert keyframe. So that's one frame, or that's one keyframe that I've put in. I'm actually going to add more for 1 second. Insert keyframe. Okay. So for this, I'll do every 2 frames, I'll add an image, or a frame that has an image, or a different motion in it. So I'll add a frame right there, add a frame right here. I'll just go to 6 images to make it less time consuming. Actually, I'll just do 5. So right now, you don't see any motion because I haven't changed where these objects are in the frame. So I'll have this as my starting frame. Here, I will move this. Here. There we go. Okay, now I can rotate it. I'll move that to here. So when I go back, boom, boom. That part moves. Then here, I'll have, see, it's back to normal because it's where it was. I'll move that back to here, and then move this here. So, boom, boom. Here then, I'll have it, this move that way, and then this there. Then boom, boom, boom. And then rotate it again. There's a lot of rotating in my animation. So there, that's something that would be swinging. And then it's back to normal, of course. So that's just a little bit of, or not, that's what I did for my animating in Adobe Animate. And that's it.